What's up, everybody? It's a beautiful day out. The smoker's rolling. Today we're gonna do some rotisserie chicken. My name's Jake and welcome to my patio. Today we are cooking this bad boy. This is a, I don't know, 4 or 5 pound, 4.5 pound organic chicken. And the great thing about something like this is that when you put it on a rotisserie, it gets to baste in all its own juices. We're gonna cut this open, tie it up, and throw her on the rotisserie and see what happens here. Get some gloves on here. It's actually going to trim away nicely. No giblets on this guy, so we're in good shape there. So when you're doing something like this, first we're going to season it up. What you want to do is you want to truss this up so that as it's rotating, it's not, the weight is centered and it's not kind of working the motor extra hard. So first thing we're going to do here, I'm trying some Smoking Dude's chicken rub. All right, this is actually really good. I picked it up the end of last summer. It's a local place, local-ish, about an hour and a half. They're in PA. It's just Smoking Dudes, and you know, I'll be honest, their website's a little rudimentary, a little basic, but you can order some great brisket from there, and this is their own rub. I've tried it a couple times. I like it. It's a little coarse, so what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna throw it into a grinder, just so I can get it a little thinner. Hello, Mr. Airplane. We'll see how this goes. Let's see. All right, so that's probably about right. Well, I got the gloves off. We're gonna get some butcher twine. Put that out there. And the only other thing we want to do is I'm gonna get a little bit of oil so we can just give the rub something to stick to, a little bit of a binding agent. And of course, I forgot that inside, so I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Need some oil. This guy is from, I think it's called Chosen Foods. It's an avocado oil. This is the organic version. It's blended with actually 2 other types of oil in it. But the great thing about it is it really doesn't have much of a taste to it, and it's great up into 500 degrees. So since we're gonna be real close to the coal today, we're gonna make sure we got that covered. And I'm gonna just put some of this on all sides of it so we're ready. And that's about all that we're gonna need. And just so I don't get my grinder all dirty, we'll throw off that glove. You got one side over there, and should have brought up my tongs. All right, we'll just have to watch this thing. All right, we got a real generous coating on there, maybe a little bit more in that spot. The wind's fighting me a little bit. But as the saying goes, you can't have too much. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna truss this guy up. And we want to keep all the meat close to the body so that it doesn't burn. All right. Really the goal here is to get it around the drumsticks. We want to tie down the wings as well. So we're going to pick those up on either side. And what we're going to do down here is we're going to go around 3 times so that when I pull this tight, it's going to hang on a little bit better so I can get another knot onto it. But first you want to make sure you got everything tight. And she slipped off. This chicken's a little, there we go, a little skinny. Needs some meat to hang on to. So we'll try that one more time. There we go. So what's happening here is we're actually going to pull these legs in tight at the bottom, which you can't see as I've got it wrapped around there. So as we pull that tight, in they come, and we're going to tie another knot. And one more for good measure. We'll cut that off and call it a day. Right, so this guy is going to go on our rotisserie. Obviously we're not going to use both of these today, but this is actually a cool concept. It's got a double fork in the middle, so if you're going to do 2 birds, you can. This is actually the first time that I've used this rotisserie on this barbecue, so we're in for an adventure together. So essentially what we want to do is we want to center this guy up. Till we get pretty close to the center. Tighten this down. We're going to push that guy up there against the tines, and then we're going to put this on the other end. And I'm just making sure that the tines don't touch each other. We'll go long ones opposite, and there we go. We're tight. Right, so as you can see, it's not quite centered, so we'll just move this down a little bit right till we're centered. And that's it. Get her on the smoker. So our smoker's right now at 350 degrees, which is right where we want it. And we're gonna plop this guy in there. So this particular one has a spring-loaded end. And then the end on the other side adjusts out. So you can get it in here. We'll turn it on. And we got rotisserie. Now, my wood's catching on fire down there, so we're gonna close that up. Let it restabilize. And we'll check on it in a little bit. This is gonna probably take 40 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, an hour tops. All depends on the temperature and how crispy we get out the outside of it. I'm actually gonna go grab my Meter Plus and I'll show you a little bit about that. We'll put that in there so we can monitor the temperature of our cook. All right, so we're back. Cook's been going on for maybe 10 minutes, not that long yet. What I want to do is talk to you a little bit about this little guy here. This is a Meter Plus, and it is a wireless thermometer. This serves as a charging station and also sends out the signal. So what happens is you put this into your meat and you have this within 15 feet, and then you connect it via the app to your wireless, and now on your phone I've got temperature of the pit and I've got temperature of the meat in one thermometer. So what happens is the end here controls or tells you what the pit temperature is, and this side tells you what the meat is. There's a little line on here. It has to go in past that line into the meat to be accurate. Good little device. I've got many different types of thermometers, and you know, the great thing about this one is it's one of the only ones on the market, if not the only one on the market, that works on a rotisserie. So we're going to put that in here. All right, so let's have a little bit of a closer look. Probably can't see from that angle, but we're 245-ish right now. This would be a quarter turn, so we're just past a quarter, and I've got maybe an inch on the bottom there. Not too bad. What we're going to do is we're going to have a quick look at this guy and put in this probe. As you can see, it's nice and juicy, starting to get a little bit of color already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in the breast when it comes around, right in the middle. And again, it's got to go past that line, so that's going to give me an idea where we're at. But since we got this open, we're going to pat on some more rub, because you can't really have too much rub. Get juicy there in the center already. So we got some sticking, not as much as I would like, but it's already got that grinder put a real fine dusting on it, so there's definitely some there. I just figured we add a little bit more because you can never have too much. Let's let it keep cooking. And the one thing on the Komodo Kamado is it's got two latch stops here. So that's the first one, and there's the second one. So you want to lock that all the way down. Temperature drop down to about 250. Because the walls are so thick on this guy, it'll climb right back in no time. Got some good smoke rolling. And now we have a rum and coke, and we hurry up and wait. And we're all right up back to 340 right now. So one of the things I didn't tell you about the meter app is what you do is you put in my case, poultry and then whole chicken, and it'll tell you, what the ambient temperature is and what the current temperature is. And then if you give it some time, it'll actually tell you how much time is left. So right now we're saying about 36 minutes will be left. With chicken, turkey, the breast typically cooks quicker. So the great thing about having it on a rotisserie is that we started the fire in the center. So as we get closer, I'll take a temperature of the breast when they're done. If the other side, the legs are not done yet, we can just simply slide it over and take away some of the heat so that the rest of the bird can cook properly. Probably won't have a problem, but it's always good to have options if you need them. It's been about 30 minutes. Let's have a quick look at this chicken. Looking good in the neighborhood. All right, it's actually been about an hour, a little longer than I expected. Looking great, lots of juice. It says we've got about 10 minutes left according to the Meter Plus. I haven't temped it anywhere else yet. I'm gonna wait till the breast gets up to temperature. What I'm going to do in the meantime is I'm just going to dial up the heat a little bit, try and get this skin. It's crispy, but we can get it a little bit more crispy. I'll show you what it's like when we're done. All right, we should be done. We're just gonna use our thermopen here, 163, 164, a little bit in the legs. Legs are done for sure. Yeah, those are 178. They can take a little bit of heat, no problems there. Just trying to make sure I don't touch any of the tines there, but yeah, I mean, depending on where you hit it, we're between 164 and 175. Definitely done. The great thing about this, if your breast gets a little bit overdone, it's not going to matter. It's going to be juicy and delicious no matter what. So we'll get that guy off. The moment of truth in the amazing bright sun. I know how to cook. I still got to figure out the video thing. We're gonna get this guy off. I've got some cotton gloves with some rubber gloves on top of him. I have to be able to adjust this guy to get it out. Actually, even that's gonna be not enough, so we're gonna break out really heavy duty gloves. Spit is hot. There we go. She's hot. So one of the most important pieces right now is to let this guy rest. You don't want to let it rest on a board or a plate. You want to keep as many juices in there as possible. So I always like to get the meat off of his surface. Just cover it up loosely. That's a little tight, but it's a little windy out here, so we're doing what we got to do. And once again, we're back up to hurry up and wait. Cheers. So here we are with the final product. As you can see, it is nice and juicy. Cut the string off there. I think it's juicy. The wing just pulls right off. Cut that open. You can see the juices in there. The leg just pulls right out. Super juicy, still really hot. Good flavor. You saw even earlier, we got up to almost 175 in around the breast. It was tough to see if I was hitting one of the forks, but as you can see, I mean, it's juicy. We got juice rolling out there, no problem. Great thing about rotisserie chicken is it's very forgiving. So now it's just a matter of what are you gonna do with it? For me, I'm gonna tear it all up, all off the bone, make some sandwiches with it, use it for some salads, and enjoy the heck out of it. Thanks for watching. If you've liked this video, please subscribe and like the video, and we'll see you next time.